Hare Krishna. What's your name? Eddie. Adi Das. Nice name. Where do you live? Marsden Park. Oh, you come from such a far distance. Did you come alone?
Yeah.
Oh, how do you know about us? Okay, you brought him here. Thank you for coming. Today will be the final part of what we have been discussing over the last 2 weeks. So it may be technical for you, but bear with us. Next week onwards, we'll go back to the basics, which means you won't see me around, which is good for you. So we usually have it as a discussion among equals. So we sit in circle and we discuss. I usually come only at the end. It's just last 3 weeks I've hijacked the whole session. Okay, so just bear with me this week. How much you can grasp, do it. Okay? Hare Krishna. Thank you all for coming. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have all the 4 speakers of Srimad Bhagavatam. Let's chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for all 4 of them. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anshu Mataji ki jai, Preeti Mataji ki jai, Salan Prabhu ki jai, Apeksha Mataji ki jai. I was sending the links to what? Why? I have actually included mine also. You know, this whole week is given by Gopinath's youth. No one has caught me yet. They gave wonderful, wonderful lectures. I shared the link in the group today. And I've been sharing the links with our congregation leaders also last few days. One devotee was texting me, Prabhu, it sounds as if you are talking in different voices. I said yes, I'm making clones of myself. So it's really good. What's your name?
My name is Ashish.
Ashish. Ashish Bandari.
Yeah.
We have been communicating for a while, but
Yes.
Thank you for coming today, finally.
My pleasure.
So basically, devotees are very, very happy. As much as I actually appreciate devotees giving Bhagavatam class, because Ayush has been on my case. Prabhu, when is my slot? Come on. And I said Prabhu, there is simply no slot, because usually congregation devotees do. Bhagavatam class is more like a family talk. I won't call that preaching. So one reason why I didn't roast him is he's just new kid in the block. There is still quite a few who have been coming. Only after I finish roasting others, I'll actually come to you. But still it's actually good, because Prabhupada said when we discuss Shastras among learned circles, which means among devotees, we should be going a bit more deeper and we should be quoting verses like that. Okay, so it's still a good opportunity for us to go deep, because whatever our sadhana is, you will see that as a reflection of whatever that you actually preach, and it will help you. So, but real preaching, Prabhupada says, is when you preach to new people. I was telling that to Apeksha today. Prabhupada says in spiritual world, all different types of ecstasies are there. You know, you feel hungry, you go to a tree will give you food. You feel, that you want to play, you will always see some cows, you will see Krishna, you will see Gopas, you will see Gopis. You can always join whatever services that they actually do, however they actually serve Krishna. So Prabhupada says different types of pleasures are there in spiritual world, but there is one pleasure that is not available even in spiritual world. And that is the pleasure that comes from preaching. Now, this is the proof that giving Bhagavatam class to devotees is not preaching. Because if everyone there is devotees, and if we are actually sharing Krishna consciousness with them, so Prabhupada didn't call that precisely as preaching, if you go by the spirit of the instruction. Okay, real preaching means when you share about Krishna with those who don't know anything about him. Okay, so we need to be mindful. Normally, devotees, they come for Bhagavatam and they actually give. Most of our leaders, so you see giving Bhagavatam classes, they preach to new people also. But don't take a carrier of just I'll preach only to devotees. That is okay. That is underselling a potential, I'll always say. Each one of us, we can definitely share. It's almost like there's already somebody feeling full. And they have a big feast to plate also in front. And you are hell-bent towards, no, I'll cook another extra item for you. It's not really adding much value. Does that make sense? So you use your skills. You are new, 1 year, 2 year old in Krishna consciousness. Use your skills. Same as with Kirtan. Already devotees know about Kirtan. It's not a big achievement to come to temple and do. But if in temple there are a lot of new people coming, then at that time you come and do. But generally our tendency is we like to be in our comfort zone. If we have to give class, we want it to be only for devotees. If you want to sing Kirtan, we want devotees who would actually sing out loud. But that's not a great achievement. That's being comfortable. Okay, real achievement is when you can still do sitting down Kirtan, but you come up with an arrangement how you can, or you think how you can share Krishna consciousness with other people. You see Radhika Das Prabhu, heard about him? You see how much he is actually reaching out to new people. There's a lot of effort actually. I attended his concert here. There's like expenses wise, it's actually big. Public relations wise, it's big. Media wise, it's big. But that's how much effort it actually takes. You take Janavi Harrison, you take Madhava Prabhu, you take so many Madhavas. It takes a lot of effort. So if you want to do Kirtan, then you think big. Come up with some arrangement wherein you can share Krishna consciousness with others. Otherwise, just doing family talk, just doing, okay, Prabhu, I come to your home, you come to my home, okay, let us all come to temple and do, that's not a great achievement. So Bhagavatam class, I wouldn't call that as great preaching. Part of the reason why I didn't put you is that, but then again, in the roster which I'm actually saying, I still have another dozen people. I'm coming to you next. So you may be another 10th, 12th in line whenever it comes. But as I said, real achievement is when you share Krishna consciousness with new people. Okay, today is my last session. Okay, thank you. For this week. No, next week you continue to do. I'll still come at the end. Okay, so we were supposed to have finished last week, but last week we discussed a lot about spiritual intelligence. Just to give you some recap, we are discussing about art of chanting, how or what are some basics that we can actually take or re-emphasis, something that will help us, because chanting is our daily activity. At some point, we will get old. At some point, already. We all get old, but at some point, we may come to a position where we can't move around much. For example, when you grow old or something. Even at that time, chanting is the only thing that's going to be with you. You may be bedridden also. Even at that time, only chanting will help you. Okay, so Japa, the sooner you actually make friends with chanting Krishna's name in beats, it's better. And the sooner you go deeper in your connection with the holy name, more enjoyable and pleasurable you'll find your journey becomes. Okay, so first week we were discussing about knowledge. We were sharing about some qualities. We were also discussing about it's always good to have someone who you can meditate on, offering prayers before you can start to chant. How many of you have started to do that? Okay, that's very good. Please do remember, whoever your inspiration is, you can actually just offer a prayer to them and then you can start to chant. It will help you stay connected with their mood also. So we focused primarily on that. We were discussing about Ramanujacharya's pastime. We discussed about Brahmana and touchstone, Brahmana meeting Sanatana Goswami. And last week we were touching on the mood, which is primarily about how to, when we chant the holy name of the Lord, Prabhupada said it should be like a child crying for a mother. How do you think a child would actually cry? Very innocently it will cry, like, wah! It will cry. Anything, the child will cry. So, but total surrender, the child cries. The child believes that if I just cry, I can actually get the attention of the mother and I can do. With that level of surrender, one should chant the holy name. I'll give you one example. Radhesham Prabhu gives this. How many of you have experience playing out in the sun, running around and you feel thirsty? And you come home, you take like a bottle of water, either from fridge or something cold, and drinking like that, bottom up. How many of you? At that time, when you do that, when the water touches here, even if somebody drops atom bomb, you don't care. Correct? That is taking shelter. He gives that example. Understand? So if you do this, at that time, you are there and the cold fluid is there. That's all that exists in the whole existence. Understand? He says that is shelter. There is another analogy that's given in the scriptures. This is about similar, wherein somebody roams around in the sun, on a scorching sun, feels very much exhausted, but then comes and takes shelter under the shade of a tree. And you have cool breeze coming and touching your body. You will also feel at that time also that I don't want to trade this for anything. Understand? So this is taking shelter. So we were touching on that, as well as most important ingredient, humility. I think that's what we spent a lot of time on. How spiritually intelligent people means they will be very busy going around collecting mercy. And really spiritually intelligent people means that when they go into any assembly of devotees or karmis or anywhere they go, they should feel the love. You can go to work, you should feel the love. You can go to a temple room, you should feel the love. You should feel positive vibes. There's a lot of negativity out there, but those who are spiritually intelligent, they will actually practice bhakti in such a way that they won't entertain any kind of enmity with anyone. They won't go unnecessarily provoke someone. They won't unnecessarily go criticize someone, unnecessarily put someone down, anything. Any of you want AC on? Yeah, you can turn one of that on. Turn it on. So, this is spiritual intelligence. Okay, so we were also saying how only when somebody is humble can one learn anything, be it on material realm or on spiritual realm. Today, I have listed down probably like 10 points, and you may need to take notes as we go through each one of them. So today we are going to touch on method. So first week we touched on knowledge, last week we touched on mood, and today we are going to focus on the method of chanting. Again, these are some things I have collected over the years from senior devotees, Prabhupada's disciples, hearing from Prabhupada's lecture also. Okay, something that I found useful. Most of this, probably all of this, I follow. And I've been teaching about this also to other people, brahmacharis. I've seen it work for others. So if you find any of this useful, please do follow. First one, pronounce every syllable clearly. Prabhupada says that when we chant Hare Krishna, there are only two senses that need to be primarily involved. One is the tongue should actually vibrate the holy name, and the ears should hear the holy name. That's all. Iti shotashakam nam kali kalmashu nata paratropaya sarva vedeshu drishyate. This comes right after Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti shotashakam. Shotashakam means 16. In Sanskrit, Sotashakam means 16. Okay. Sodashakam. Sodashakam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So this is 8. Then again, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 8. 8 plus 8, 16. So the mantra itself, actually, if you see right after the mantra, Brahma says, Iti Shotashakam Nam. These 16 names, he specifically says. Iti Shotashaka Namnam Kali Kalmashu Nashanam. There is nothing as powerful as these 16 names that can wipe out the dirt which Kali Yuga actually brings within the heart of everyone. That's what it means. Now, if you take each of the names, we can break each name into 2 syllables, like Hare, 2 syllable, Krishna, 2 syllable. Again, Hare, Krishna, then Rama, Krishna, like that. 2 syllables you come across. Understand? So chanting, Prabhupada says, pronounce every syllable clearly means when you chant. Today I'm going to use my beats a lot. Yesterday was my spiritual birthday. I got initiated yesterday, 17 years ago, 18 years ago. Thank you. Happy birthday. Thank you. Tomorrow is also, today is Apeksha's birthday. We can chant one Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is your birthday. Today is her birthday. Tomorrow is whose birthday? Sneha Mataji's. See, all great personalities appeared. Let's chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra for Apeksha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This morning I was taking prasad and watching her class online. And she's saying, preaching doesn't mean sitting in Vyasasana and giving. I'm thinking, okay, Mataji. She's talking as if she has given 500 classes in Vyasasana. Excuse me, this is your first class. And she was like roaring, preaching doesn't mean sitting in Vyasasana and like giving class. Okay, thank you. Okay, so when we hold the beats, Prabhupada says you hold the beat, your fingers should feel the beats. Make a note. You should feel it. Otherwise, what happens is you tend to skip the beats. Has any one of you realized when you are chanting and you chant and suddenly you think like, hey, only 3 minutes I finished my round. Thank you, Krishna. How many of you have that experience? That's a problem. Because what happens is when you're overly enthusiastic, you try to actually go, but funnily enough, sometimes you run out of time and you want to finish it fast. At that time, somehow the beat tend to go slow. How many of you have that experience also? Why? What happened? So in both the cases, it's wrong. You feel the beats. You are touching Tulsi Maharani here. Okay, so Prabhupada says when you hold the beats, you need to feel. How many of you have your beads with you? Okay, close your eyes and then touch your beads. And then feel it. Feel the softness of the bead. Feel the lotus feet of Tulsi Maharani. Feel the mercy of Tulsi Maharani. You feel the motherly warmth of Tulsi Maharani. In spiritual world, Tulsi Maharani takes care of all the logistics in the pastimes of Sri Sri Radha Gopinath. You will see sometimes deep in the forest, Radha and Krishna they meet along with all the other gopis. And at that time, suddenly out of nowhere, you will have somebody playing veena. Suddenly somebody will offer a platter of fruits to Krishna. Suddenly somebody will give a fan in the hand of Srimati Radharani, requesting her to fan Krishna. Everything in spiritual world, every piece of logistic in spiritual world is supplied by Tulsi Maharani, including these beads, which she has actually given us kindly so we can call out Krishna's names with full ardent humility. So this beads is our best friend. Now whatever beads that you're holding, most of yours may be made of tulsi. Even if it isn't, you have a certain relationship. You can hold it. I've been chanting on these beads since 2nd of January 2008. Same beads. And I watched these beads being chanted on by my Guru Maharaj minutes before initiation. So when I touch these beads, I will remember lotus feet of my Guru Maharaj. I'll remember his compassion and I will remember how he has given me his mercy in the form of these tulsi beads with which I can always stay connected with him, connected with the holy name with which he has initiated me. And since then, since 2nd of January 2008, every single day I have been spending at least 2 hours with these beads. And as I touch these beads, I have a certain relationship. It emotes with me. It gives me realization. Even though I close my eyes and I chant, I can almost 9 out of 10 times I can tell you which bead I'm chanting, how many the bead it is. 9 out of 10 times I can tell you. I can tell you whether it's 20th bead, 30th bead, 15th bead, 18th bead, 99, 108, any number. 9 out of 10 times I know exactly. Even though I close my eyes and I chant, I still see the beats in my heart and I can still see the motherly warmth of, still feel the motherly warmth of Tulsi Maharani. So feeling the beats is very important. Open your eyes. So our relationship with this is very important. Normally, if you see animals, how they deal with their babies. If a dog gives birth to few puppies, it will come, it will lick its body, it will cuddle it. Same is the case even with a cow. After giving birth to a baby calf, our position with the beads is like that. This is our mother, and we are going and hugging the lotus feet of our mother. So when we deal with the holy name, anything related to the holy name, in as personal way as possible, you won't find it boring. You will have the same level of connection that you feel when you go in front of the altar. Like they are standing there, Radha Gopinath are standing, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani are standing, Gauranitaya are standing, Prabhupada is watching, Tulsi Maharani is there. So the more you look at them and you talk to them, the more you will feel you are actually connecting with them more and more deeper. That level of connection, even more intently, you will feel when you chant the holy name. Okay, so Prabhupada says, feel the beats. If you don't feel the beats, few things will happen. Either when you chant, you will drop the beats. How many of you have experienced dropping the beats? Happens. How many of you have experience with your beats getting tangled up like this? These are all signs of inattentive chanting. Okay, if you are attentively feeling the beat, you won't let the problem become so big. Like that. First time when something goes like this, you will keep untangling it. Understand? So make no mistake, if when you are actually chanting and you realize, what tangling means? Sometimes it gets like this, and at one point it's like, what is this? That's tangling. Understand? It becomes like a mesh. That's tangling. If you have beats tangling, that's the first sign that your chanting is not attentive. It's not going attentive on every beat. Okay, if you feel the beats, that leads to the next point, which is some devotees have observed. This is something I learned in a retreat in 2006, December. Shankar Shantas Adhikari Maharaj, he said, he's Prabhupada's disciple, one of initiating gurus in ISKCON. He said, devotees observed the way how Prabhupada chants. Normally we think Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Then you go to the next one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is what we think, right? Normally this is what we tend to do. And we don't know when we are holding what to do now. Tongue is chanting, ears are hearing. What is the finger supposed to do? As I said, normally when you see a cow cuddling its baby, it won't just hug all the time. What does it do? It keeps moving. Correct? And baby calf will also do the same. So here, devotees observed when Prabhupada chanted, Prabhupada was feeling the beats, but not just idly feeling the beats. Prabhupada would twirl the beat. You know what twirling means? How many of you know cricket? What a silly question. Spin bowlers, they do before they bowl. That's known as twirling. Okay, you rotate the ball like that. That's known as on the seam it will twirl. They observed Prabhupada twirling the bead, which means Prabhupada when he chants, he would chant like this: Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Then he will go to the next one. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Gently. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Next time you watch a video of Prabhupada chanting, you observe his hand will be like this. Even in the bead, you will feel it. His finger shaking. Prabhupada chants like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Understand? What this twirling does is, rather than you having to wait for one whole mantra to finish, it breaks it into two. But most important, because you are alternating between this and this, again alternating between this and this, you will be very conscious when you are actually moving to the next beat. Understand? You can't keep on doing like this. Our problem, why we actually skip the beat is Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. I don't know whether I'm touching the previous beat, next beat, nothing we know. But what becomes easy is when you follow Prabhupada's method, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. If I have to twirl, I have to move to the next beat now. Does that make sense? Now only I can twirl. Hare, it's always move, twirl, and then stop. Move, twirl, stop. Hare Krishna, watch. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Move, twirl, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Move, twirl, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Second half of the mantra, Prabhupada was chanting idle. First half of the mantra, Prabhupada was twirling the beat. Does it make sense? How many of you understand this point? How many of you didn't understand this? So, basically, when we chant like this, and the hand is already in the bead, inside the bead bag, right? So it feels like this. What is easy for me is lose track of whether I'm chanting on the right beat or I'm still in the old beat or I'm keep moving my hand. Sometimes what happens is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Already when I'm going Hare Rama, I will already jump here. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. You have no control here. Correct? It's very easy. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram Rama, Hare Hare. This is how our hands have mystic siddhi. It will finish rounds in 3 minutes. One day, one devotee proudly told me that. I said, impossible. Show me. Understand? It's not possible. Reason why we skip the beats is because when we are not conscious, it's like this. Watch this. And mind you, my hands is inside. I'm just showing you the transparent version here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Or if I keep on moving, watch this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. In 3 mantras, I moved 4 beats now. Understand? And especially when your intention is to finish faster, your hand works double the speed also. Okay, so now in order to control this, what Prabhupada followed as his own practice, not because of this reason, but this is something devotees observed Prabhupada do, but if you follow that, this problem will get solved. Now, why Prabhupada twirled, we don't know. But we can take the lesson from Prabhupada and follow, so we can keep a check and balance. Does that make sense? So, is this clear now? Okay, so when you chant, now you are holding here. Even if your hand is inside, you can still chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. You pause because you know you are not moving the hand now, second half. Understand? Then you move to the next one, again you twirl. You move Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. You pause. Then your hand won't actually move. If you get into this habit. I know only this style of chanting now. 18 years, this is how I'm chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. 12, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, pause, Hare Ram, Ram Rama, Hare Hare. Understand? So this is something Prabhupada said about feeling the beats. As I said, when you think, oh, this is just bead, then it will behave exactly like bead only, nothing else. But if you realize this, when you feel this, when you emote with this, that this is your friend, you will actually go. Just like if you have Radha Gopinath, how will you go and greet them now? See, natural. We'll all want to Gopinath, you know. We all want to go to Gopinath. Gopinath is like, okay, happily he'll hug. You have any friends, bring them also. Understand? So, we want to always feel the warmth of love. Understand? People go, you will see tennis players. After finishing winning, they'll pluck the grass. Now, whether suchi muchi doesn't matter. They'll sit and eat, they'll sit, hug, so many things. Understand? This is a normal way of expressing our love, feeling our love. When you see your parents after a long time, how will you do? Pranam Mata, Pranam. Maharaj ki jai ho. How many of you? How many of you watched Mahabharata? You come across, right? It doesn't happen like this, correct? Even from long, you'll be like, you'll go. And these days, you will see what they call it like shadow hugging. People may be far and they do like this. So they do a lot of things like that. So point is, we express our love how? Like, going physically embracing, correct? This is how it is done. So here, this is Tulsi Maharani. This is lotus feet of Tulsi Maharani. So when you feel, you can actually offer prayers to Tulsi Maharani. Normally, I don't touch this if my hand is dirty. I don't touch this if I have touched the floor. I don't touch this if my hand touched anything. I have one towel which I use after I actually wash my hands. I wipe my hands there and my hand directly goes here. I don't even touch the door. I don't touch my key. I don't touch mobile. I don't touch anything. I close the door, finish everything. I don't need to lock the door. Does that make sense? You can open it, go inside, wash, sit, chant. That will always be when I touch the bead, I don't touch anything after that until I put the beads away. If I have to touch it again, I put it aside, go wash my hands, come back, wipe my hands, and then I go to the beads again. I deal this as my Shaligram Shila. I deal with this as my deity. Understand? So an altar, that's the rule. We go do Achamana, chant mantras. After that, anything you touch, before you touch the Lord, you have to wash your hands. Wipe, wash, wipe, wash, wipe. This is our deities. The more serious you take your beads, more you will see they will take you seriously. The more you think, this is just like what? Some tool to chant. It's just a means to count. Yes, that is true, but that's not all of it. There is more to it. Okay, anything to do with the holy name, it's personal, very personal. Like deities, name and Krishna, they are non-different. Krishna, the person, and Krishna, the name or name of Krishna, they are non-different. So how you deal with Krishna? When you see Krishna, how will you feel? When you see Krishna physically, and if you have the opportunity to hug him, with how much dependency, Krishna, you go, and Krishna, if he vanishes, how will you feel? Krishna, like that. With that fervor, with that sincerity, we need to deal with the beads. Understand? The more personal you are with the beads, the more the beads will also reciprocate with you. Because this is not normal, this is Tulsi Maharani, her mercy. You will come across Puranic stories where Mother Earth, she takes the form of a cow. She takes the form of even a boat in Matsya Leela. Matsya Avatar you will come across. She takes the form of a boat. Tulsi Maharani, she is a gopi, not ordinary gopi. She is the owner of Vrindavan forest. Krishna is not the owner. You know, there is one story. There is a book called Danakeli Kaumudi. Actually, it's funny. The reason why that book was written was Raghunath Das Goswami. He is one of the 6 Goswami disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When he remembers Krishna leaving Vrindavan and the pain which the gopis actually felt, he couldn't take it one day. He was like, how could Krishna leave? How much pain would the gopis must have gone through? When he felt that, he lost all interest in keeping his life together. He thought like, gopis are going through so much pain, so much pain. He was crying and crying and crying, not eating, not drinking any water, and everyone was very worried. So then Rupa Goswami writes this in the literature about Krishna leaving. Lalita Madhav, Vidagdha Madhav, he writes about it. Then he gets very scared, very much like, lamenting, very depressed. So now to make him feel joyful, Rupa Goswami immediately wrote another book. Name of that book is Danakeli Kaumudi. That's the pastime of Krishna. When the gopis come crossing Yamuna to go into the forest, Krishna would actually be the tax collector, like a toll gate. He would stop all of them. All of you stop here. Give me tax. And then they would question, why should we give you tax? Then he would say, well, don't you know, I'm the Yuvraj here. I'm the son of the king of Vraja. I'm son of Nanda Maharaj. And then they say, if you are son of Nanda Maharaj, then why are you begging from us? Then Krishna is saying like, no, we are the owner of this whole forest. And then they say, no, you are lying. Owner of this whole forest is Vrinda Devi. The whole name Vrindavan comes from Vrinda Devi. Vrinda refers to Tulsi Maharani. So this whole area is Vrindavan. Vrindavan, as the name says, this is owned by Tulsi Maharani only. Then he says, Tulsi Maharani, she is also my girlfriend. Then they say, wait, we will call Tulsi Maharani. Then they call Vrinda Devi. Then Vrinda Devi comes, everyone worships her, puts her on a golden throne, all the gopis fan. And then Lalita Sakhi comes and she says, Vrinda Devi, this forest is owned by you. But he is actually telling that he owns this and he's asking us tax. What should we do? Vrinda Devi looks at Krishna and she says, look, I report to Srimati Radharani. I don't know who this black boy is. And everyone mock at Krishna, So when Raghunath Das goes, this pastime, so he writes this, there are many pastimes actually. The name of the book is Dana Keli Kaumudi, basically. Dana means like collecting. So when this, so then what Rupa Goswami does is, he gives this book to him, he reads and he starts to laugh. And he's laughing, he pulls out the other books. And he says, keep laughing, And then he is very happy, Krishna and gopis are actually now together. Then he starts to eat food, like that. Reason why I am saying is that Vrinda Devi, no pastime in Vrindavan happens without her. If you see the deity of Srimati Tulsi Devi, she has a parrot also in her hand. How many of you have seen the deity of Tulsi Maharani? She has a parrot. And she has 1 lakh parrots. The chief of all the parrots is known as Daksha. So they are the information, they are the spies, they go everywhere. And they collect information and they come relay to this chief parrot Daksha. And then the Daksha parrot comes to Tulsi Maharani and she says, she tells about the movements of all the different places. So then she will make arrangements so that Radha and Krishna can come, meet together and they can go back without anyone else noticing. Understand? So it's a very, very confidential service she does. This is, beads is actually giving us the means with which we can associate Tulsi Maharani, with Tulsi Maharani. Understand? So whenever you come to temple, you see Tulsi Maharani there, bow down. There are many pastimes, there are chapters and chapters in Puranas about the glories of Tulsi Maharani. We can discuss about Tulsi Maharani some other time. But understand this much, that we have a personal relationship with the Tulsi Maharani. Nobody can go to Srimati Radharani without Tulsi Maharani. And nobody can go to Krishna without Srimati Radharani. Understand? So beads. One common question I get asked is, I'm a meat eater. Can I chant with Tulsi beads? You can. No restriction. I drink coffee. I drink even alcohol. Can I chant with the Tulsi Mala? You can. Can I wear neck beads? I'm a meat eater. Can I wear? You can. No restriction at all. For confirm. So no restriction at all for chanting on Tulsi beads, for wearing Tulsi Mala, for chanting the holy name of the Lord. There is no restriction at all for Tulsi Maharani. She is very, very merciful. Scriptures, there are many, many stories. There is one story I always try to narrate, and every time I get choked up and I stop the story. I'm not going to start that again. But she gives shelter even to snakes. Okay. Her mercy is like, you can't even imagine. It's like, you will think like, how can somebody be like this? That's how merciful she is. Okay, when you understand, you are with the most mercifulest. In Shakespeare in English, when Brutus and Cassius, they killed Caesar, Julius Caesar, Shakespeare uses the word, the most unkindest cut of all. There's no English word like that, but he says, just to mention, this should be the most heinous of all. Likewise, this is the, Tulsi Maharani is the most mercifulest of all, borrowing from Shakespeare. You can never come across anyone more merciful than Tulsi Maharani. So when you chant, when you hold with respect because you are touching her lotus feet with your hands. Understand? You bow, you show respect, you are actually offering your bhakti to Krishna with the mercy of Tulsi Maharani. Okay, so first thing is you feel the beads. Otherwise, you will skip the beads or you will drop the beads or your beads will get tangled like this. Understand? Any questions in this before we move to the next one? Okay. Yes.
I'm just thinking that I have that a bit of a lot of times with my
Hmm.
so
Tulsi, okay, good question. If by mistake you touch the ground, touch this, no problem. Okay, this is pure, nothing can make it impure. Like Mahaprasad. But don't do it hereafter. Okay, Tulsi Maharani is very, very merciful, very kind. So when we know something, and if we know that we have been doing something wrong, change the path and come back to the right ways. Basically, that's all. Okay, you don't need to do any atonement or anything like that. Okay, so first is you feel the beats, you pronounce the syllables of each name loudly, clearly, loudly so that at least you can hear, not so loudly that you disturb the person sitting right next to you. Okay, close your eyes again, hold your beats. Okay, and chant slowly with me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. As you chant, focus on your beats, focus on your hands touching the beats and feel the beats. Okay, slowly again. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, 12 the beat as you chant. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. 12 for Hare Krishna and pause for Hare Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Can you stop? Okay, so this is how you feel the beats, and as you do this very consciously, as your speed also picks up, you will still be very conscious of how you move the beats slowly. But most important thing is as you move, you feel the beats. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. When you twirl it gently. Otherwise, you'll do exactly same mistake. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Rama, Hare Krishna, Again, your hands will go. Understand? You chant, the twirling of your bead should match your chanting speed. Same frequency. Understand? Talk Hare Krishna, Krishna. Understand? It needs to go. So if you see how I'm chanting and how I'm moving the beats, they both has to be in sync. Have to be in sync. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. I'm not doing like this. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. I'm not doing that. Correct? So how the chanting pace and your twirling pace has to be in sync. Then you can feel it will go in perfect harmony. You won't even realize when you chant like this. 2 hours will fly like anything. And it will be totally meditative style of chanting. Okay. I have one friend in Mayapur. I spent a lot of time with him. He's a Damvasi. I remember I met him almost like the first week when I landed in Mayapur, when I was staying there for a year. And he told me, Ghanashyam Prabhu, if you are in Mayapur, you should take Ganga bath. I say, yes, Prabhu, I took yesterday. Every day you should take Ganga bath. Then that was our routine. Every day afternoon, morning, whole morning I'll have Bhakti Shastri class. Some class will be there. Afternoon, once I actually take lunch, I'll come back to my room, do some reading, and then he'll call me. Then we both would go walking all the way to Ganga, take bath, come. If you watch him chanting, of course they are Damvasis. I'm not joking. If you're sitting in the room and you're chanting and he would also chant, we chant like para chanting, right? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. When he chants, you will feel, if you close your eyes, you will feel as if Krishna has come and he's calling Krishna. His chanting will be like this. Hare Krishna, like that, huh? And then you will feel, this is how he chants. Normally, how he chants will be almost like, you are talking and you are talking to him like, hey, Biggie, what, like, how this, like this he'll chant, Krishna, Hare Krishna, like that he'll chant, but not like, stop, you can't even imitate how he chants. Okay, so, and when you sit and watch them, how they are actually relating, how they are chanting, then you will realize, man, they are born in the Dham for a reason. I had one realization. Once he took me for parikrama. Different places are there. So many places are there. So one day we went into the one of the islands and we were walking around, and then I told him, Alan, I'm feeling thirsty. Then we came across a shop. I used to drink a lot of soft drinks at the time. So we took like half a liter or a liter Sprite. I was drinking. Then there was one friend of him who was driving a bullock cart. Then he said, you like to drive in a bullock cart? I said, like, sure. Then we climbed on the cart and we were going happily just watching. Whole day, this is what we were doing. And late in the afternoon, some school kids were there. It's a village at the end of the day. So people come from a very humble background. I finished drinking this soft drink. Then I asked him, Prabhu, I need to find a bin to throw this. He said, like, why bin? Give it, we can give it to the kids. I said, like, oh, Prabhu, how can we give this? Of course, I've drunk like this. I didn't touch it to my mouth. But still, why do you want to give? He said, like, no, they'll actually use it. Give. He just grabbed it from me. He's the senior, so I couldn't say anything. Then he called them, hey, come. And then all the kids, little innocent kids, girls, they come running. And then who wants this? Everyone is like, me. Then he gave it to one of them. And we were driving, so bullock cart is going, we both are with our legs freely hanging, freely down. We both are watching, and we are watching like this. And I was looking at the kids, and this thought crossed my mind, these kids must be very poor, because this is just a bottle which we normally throw, and they are coming. And this thought just crossed my mind like this, they must be really poor like that. One kid, the school girls are coming with the school uniform, going back to the home. And as it's coming, one girl went into her home and she's waving hand at us, and I was also waving. And she's waving at her friends. She must be year 3, year 4. And as she came close to her home, she opened a tap and she was washing her feet. I could see, because the bullock cart is going very slow. And then this devotee, as if he read my mind, he said, do you know what she is washing her hand with? I said, I don't know. He said, that's Ganga water. Then I realized, who is Richie here? We think, they are poor, but look at Ganga water is right there in the tap, because whole Navadvip Dham, they get water from Ganga only. Then I realized, yo, sorry Dham, sorry Mataji, Okay, so we think riches in terms of what we value, but the real riches you will see when you actually go appreciate with the people in the Dham. So they have that relationship with Krishna. So when we chant, We need to be mindful that this name of Krishna has come from the spiritual world. It has been carefully handed down through our Guru Parampara, and it is given to us by Srila Prabhupada through his disciples or through other devotees. With that mood of gratitude when we actually chant, this can connect us directly to Goloka Vrindavan. Okay, there is a story of Srinivas Acharya. One day when he chants, Srinivas Acharya, he is one of our famous Vaishnava Acharyas, wonderful bhajans. He has got stalwart disciples. Ramachandra Kaviraj. He has got 8 Kaviraj disciples also. Very, very exalted personality. Very close friend of Narottama Das Thakur and Shyamananda Pandit. One day he sits and chants on his bead bag. His body is here, but his soul gets transported to the spiritual world. He sits in meditation, nobody could move him. They make sound, nobody comes. So then his wife, she starts crying that he had actually passed away. No disciple knows what to do. Then as they were worried, they send a message to Ramachandra Kaviraj, who is one of his favorite disciple. Ramachandra Kaviraj comes, and then when he sees Srinivas Acharya in meditation, he's like, like a statue, literally. Then he tells them, oh, don't worry, I know where Gurudev has actually gone. He sits right next to him, holding the beads again. He goes into chanting. He also becomes like that, stunned. His soul also gets transported. So in his meditation, when Ramachandra Kaviraj also goes to spiritual world, and there he comes to the bank of Radha Kunda and he looks around and he asks, where is my Gurudev? Then the gopis point at Radha Kunda. Then he goes there, and there Lalita Sakhi is there looking down. Rupa Manjari is also there looking down on the waters. And then he goes, without any word spoken, he fully understands something they have lost. His Guru Maharaj should be in the form of a Manjari, should be inside the waters of Radha Kunda. He is also in Manjari form, dives into the water. And then he realizes in the water sports, how many of you have seen the photos of Krishna splashing water with the gopis? Very beautiful images you can see. So normally Krishna would splash water, and he will splash water with so much speed, the people will get blinded. They can't see anything. But then when gopis, they all would actually like splash water, Krishna also can't see anything. So it goes. So once when Krishna was playing water sports like that, when the water actually hit Srimati Radharani, her nose ring came out and it fell into the waters and it got lost. And that's her favorite nose ring. Nobody knows how to search. So everyone is like frantically searching. That's when Ramachandra Kaviraj in his body as a Manjari. Manjari means they are also gopis, but younger gopis, like little kids, 3-year-old to 4-year-old. When the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna happens, as a matter of etiquette at the time, gopis go away. But Manjaris are still around because they don't understand anything. Little kids, they are everywhere. There are many pastimes you will see Radharani having with Manjaris also. Sometimes they come nicely decorate bed and Radharani would look at all of them. They are like little kids, very sincerely they'll do. Then Radharani would smile, pick up each one and she will throw in the bed. So you will see Radharani's sense of humor also. And little kids, when they actually like fall, you visualize, right? They will also start to laugh, roll, and then they'll come out again, she will throw them. So like that. So the mood of service, Radharani would serve them also, actually. It's not like, her mood is like just taking service, not like that. She feels very, very humble. She also throws them. Likewise, you will see instances when Radharani pushes other gopis also to Krishna. She has conducted the marriage of Krishna and Lalita Sakhi, Krishna and Vishaka Sakhi, like that. Okay, Radharani's mood is that I am not a great devotee, everyone is a great devotee. That's why Prabhupada says we should always go to Srimati Radharani and pray to Radharani that, my dear Srimati Radharani, please speak to your Gopinath about me. Like that. So when Radharani gives or offers something to Krishna, Krishna will never say no. Like that. So in this instance, so Manjari means like young gopis, 3-year-old to 4-year-old, that gopis. So his guru is also in Manjari form in spiritual world, which is Srinivas Acharya. He is also searching for the ring. Ramachandra Kaviraj is also in his original spiritual form as a Manjari. He is also searching for the ring in the waters. Finally, Ramachandra Kaviraj, Manjari, picks up, he spots the nose ring. So gives it to his guru, who is another Manjari. Then he takes it, comes out, and then he gives it to Rupa Manjari. Rupa Manjari is Rupa Goswami. Rupa Manjari takes it to Lalita Sakhi. Lalita Sakhi then gives it to Srimati Radharani. Radharani becomes very pleased and she gives her Mahaprasad to them. And then suddenly they both wake up from chanting. That's the climax. And when they wake up from chanting, they look at each other, now normal in human form, and they hug each other, roll on the ground. Nobody understands why. And then they pull out the Mahaprasad of Srimati Radharani herself straight from spiritual world. And then they share it with everyone. Everyone goes into ecstasy eating. Japa. This is very powerful because when you do Kirtana, right, we can get distracted very easily. You can do to impress somebody, impress a member of opposite sex. See how nicely I'm actually playing harmonium, playing mridanga, playing kartal, how nicely I'm dancing, how high I'm actually jumping, how loudly I'm chanting. So many ways we can distract ourselves. Japa, no. Unfortunately, many times you will see in modern days, Kirtaniyas, they don't even chant Japa properly. They don't even chant Japa, which is a bad habit. Unless you take Krishna, you cannot give Krishna. This is personal meditation. If you want to be a proper Kirtan singer, it starts with this. Because when you chant Japa, there is you and Krishna. Nothing. Nothing else. Okay, you will be confronted here. You cannot do music here. You cannot have any other motive here. Reality will stare at you. Understand? This is where your true test for love for holy name will be performed, so to speak, or conducted, so to speak. If you make peace with this, then you will see those Kirtaniyas who chant, their Kirtan will be powerful. I don't know if you have watched Sri Prahlad. How many of you know Sri Prahlad Prabhu? Very few. If you watch his chanting, if you watch Indrajit Maharaj chanting, if you watch Radhanath Swami Maharaj chanting, one of my biggest inspirations in chanting is Lokanath Swami Maharaj. Once I was in Pandharpur, we went for Padayatra. We went from Dehu, a place which is connected to the pastimes of Tukaram Maharaj. So from there, 18 days we walk. Every day, whole day, we will only do Harinam. So even night time you sleep, you will have holy name only ringing, always. I still remember in sleeping also, I used to Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I didn't know, but my friends used to say, hey, Prabhu, sleep, Hare Krishna. Head will go hitting ground and they were worried, I'm going to hurt my head. It will go whole day, this is what we do. During the whole day, we were going. So daytime we would walk, nighttime we will take rest in one village. Again, daytime 200 devotees from Pune, we went. But then when you went to Pandharpur, you will see lakhs of devotees. That's the biggest Harinam I have ever participated. They said something like 8 lakhs were there. And you literally have to plow through. And there's 500 devotees, you do Harinam. It is out of the world experience. So we arrived on first day. Next day morning is Lokanath Maharaj's Vyasa Puja. That's his birthday. The chief minister of Maharashtra came to greet him. And then Maharaj allowed him to offer garlands or offer lamps and everything to Krishna. Then Maharaj came. Tulsi Maharani finished. Big temple room. Maharaj came, sat down. And we are 400 people that side. Like how you are watching. Imagine there is 400 people. There is Maharaj sitting here. He sat like this, picked his danda and he held like this on his thigh. And the danda is resting on his shoulder like this. He held like this. He had his beads like this. He closed his eyes. And I was one among those 400. I was sitting and watching him. He closed. He sat like this and then he started to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare. He didn't open his eyes. He didn't look around. He didn't drink water. Nothing. 1 hour, 45 minutes. Now, the biggest thing that inspired me was, at the time I used to sleep a lot when I chant Japa. First thing that impressed me was somebody sitting there, 400, most of them may be his disciples also. How confident he must be that he won't sleep. That was the first thing I was like, man, how can somebody chant like this? I would be scared, if it's somebody, because for me at that time, biggest challenge was sleeping. I'll chant and then, it just goes. Then I was watching, he just held his danda didn't shake, nothing. He just close, Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. How Maharaj sings Kirtan, this is how he was chanting Japa, Krishna, Krishna. 1 hour, 45 minutes, I didn't move. I was just sitting and watching. I was also chanting, but more focus on him. I was like, wow, I'd like to chant like that. And then we attended Vyasa Puja, and then we took darshan of Vittal Rukmai. We came back to Pune, and next day morning, because in Pune, we would chant Sikshashtakam before the Japa. So we were chanting. At that time, during Sikshashtakam, I felt as if somebody, let's say you're sleeping with your bedsheet, covering your body. And if somebody pulls it out, you'll feel like that I felt something. And I lost sleep after that. I never slept after that. And then I was thinking, mercy of Maharaj, mercy of Vittal Rukmai. So challenge will be there when you chant. Throat will pain, you will feel sleepy, but we need to persist. But mercy of devotees, when you actually get, you will actually feel magic. And as I said, for me, it's like, I felt like this and I did. I was even sharing that with my counselor also. Then he said, it's just mercy of Maharaj and Pandharpur Dham and Vittal Rukmai. So when you look at powerful Kirtan singers, that potency comes from their sadhana. Otherwise, we can't make a show of being a big Kirtaniya. You will come across, I was speaking to one devotee a few days ago, that so many stalwart Kirtan singers come and go, correct? I remember in last 18 years, at one point they say, wow, this is the next big thing. It goes for another 2 months and then it goes away. Then again they say, this is the next big thing in the Kirtan. Again it goes away. And then they say, this is the next big thing, next big thing. And then everyone goes away. Andhra Prabhu still says the same. Comes from personal sadhana. Understand? Same way, if you are preaching, it comes from your personal sadhana. You can't keep on distributing. How long can we actually cheat people? People will find easily. Okay, we can't put up a show. If you are preaching, then you need to read from Prabhupada's books. If you are chanting Japa, if you are singing Kirtan, then you need to chant properly. Understand? So everything has to come from inside first. Then you can, when you feel full, then you can give something outside. Inside empty, what can you do outside? You cannot do much. Understand? So something to keep in mind. So Prabhupada says, pronounce every syllable. Mantra itself says these 16 names. They are very precise, 16 names. But then every name comprises of 2 syllables. Hare Krishna. So when we chant, we need to be focused on every syllable. How much we can hear, in what speed we can hear, that's the speed you can actually chant. Understand? You can't chant Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Can you hear all of those full mantra clearly? No. That means you are going out of sync with your hearing potency. Your moving of the beats, this frequency, chanting frequency, and hearing frequency needs to be in line. They have to be same. Understand? You can't move this quicker than what you can chant. You can't chant faster than what you can hear either. Understand? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. My hand is going with the same pace as my chanting. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I can hear every syllable that I am chanting. Understand? This, and this need to be same. All three. How many of you don't understand this point? Clear? So the pace with which you move the beats. Now if you find it, I have shared it with some devotees. Doesn't happen often, but few occasions, some devotees told me, Prabhu, when I twirl, I tend to drop the bead. Then I said, don't worry about twirling. That's fine. But it comes by practice. When you do gently, depending on very pace. If you hold the beats like this tip, chances are more that you will drop. So you have to hold the beats somewhere in the middle of the middle finger. So you have more control there. Does that make sense? Wherever you feel the control is best. For me, it will almost be like there. That's where I tend to hold. Okay, so it has to be like that. So how you hold the beats, how you move, how you chant, the speed with which you chant, and the speed with which you can hear, these three has to be in sync. Okay. How do we know whether we are chanting at a consistent speed, whether we are skipping any rounds? How can we even understand whether we are chanting everything clearly? One exercise we always do, temple brahmacharis, we always do is we time our rounds. So before you start chanting, we turn it on and you will understand how long it takes for you to chant one round. Over a period of time, you will understand. But initially, you record each one. Even in if you have iPhone, you go with the stopwatch, it clearly tells first, second, third, fourth, first lap, second lap. That's the first round, second round. So you can time your rounds. And when you know on an average, let us say in a week, you found out what your average speed is to chant one round. For me, my average is somewhere between 6.5 minutes to 6 minutes 45 seconds. That's my average. So when I actually chant, I know exactly. Now I am little bit experienced. I don't time it, but I do look at the clock to actually understand, because I know exactly when where I'm actually going. As I said, when you keep chanting on the same beat over a period of time, you know how many beat this is, and you know the number of this beat, and you will know the number of this beat. Understand? Because you spend 2 hours with it every single day. You will clearly understand what's the number there. So I'll have clear assessment. Over a period of time, you will gain it also. After initiation, when you start chanting on the same beat. But that is secondary. Primary is you can use your stopwatch, you can use your watch, and you can time it. Normally, forget about whether something is big or small, just write it down. Write it down or go with your watch. At the end of the day or after you finish chanting, you go through and you understand how long is it actually taking for you roughly. Try for the next day, next day, next day, next day. Then you will have a good idea. Okay, how long it takes. So you need to have a certain baseline. When you know you have never chanted anything under 6 minutes, for example, and one day when you time it and you see you finish one round in 5 minutes, what does it tell you? That you skip the beats. Correct? When you come across like that, cut it, start it all over again. You have to be hard. Otherwise, mind will actually go here, there, crazy. It will push you to actually do. But when you give mind something more difficult, better I do this. Like that it will take. But over a period of time, it will like. My mind likes Gopinath. Gopinath is so sweet, even my mind likes. Sometimes it complains, this is for Gopinath. Okay, it keeps quiet after that. But it takes practice. But the most important thing is that when you actually do, when you know it's impossible, like for me to have chanted at that level, you need to know what your baseline is. Okay, sometimes little bit over it goes, it's good. If it goes under, you can have some threshold. I can go below maybe like 5 seconds less, but it's like 1 minute less means 100%. I skipped the beats. Understand? Then you have to be honest with yourself and then push yourself to do. Yes, it's going to be another round, but what it will do is it will train your mind that you need to focus on it every single time. Understand? Don't trust your mind. As I said, we have been chanting for this many years. Even now, I don't trust the mind. I still keep looking at the clock if I don't have my watch or mobile phone. Okay, how am I actually going? I need to know. Okay, and if you know you have actually skipped the beats and you have completed it way too soon, then be honest with yourself, chant that round again. That's the only way. Okay, record your chanting. In temple room, we used to do before, there used to be a time when morning program means only brahmacharis. We didn't even have to bring the second Tulsi Maharani in the temple room. Each one of us will sit in one corner, where they keep, and we have our mobile phone and we'll sit and chant for the mobile phone, recording. And then we'll give it to our mentors, our recording. They will actually hear randomly and they'll tell you how your recording is going, where you are actually skipping. So you will give the whole record about your chanting recording along with your, after you come, chanting recording along with the timing for each one. You can do that with your mentors. Okay, some of you here do have your mentors, so I would suggest you can do that. Your mentors know about it. If they are brahmacharis, if they are matajis, you can please put a request. Okay, that I requested you to actually send. So you can ask them to hear and they'll give you their honest opinion. Okay, even one round they actually hear, they know. If you are skipping, some people, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna. Usually the Hare of the one mantra will merge with the Hare of the next mantra. How many of you have seen people chant like that? There are some people in the temple also who chant like that. You can't go and correct, leave them. But for you, you need to be mindful. It has to go like Music. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Ram. Again, it's not Hare Ram. It's Hare Rama. Is soft, but you have to still say both the syllables clearly. Okay, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay. Next point. This is something I found helpful. And I learned it when I was doing paraphernalia service in 2006. At that time, we used to have one chanting box of Prabhupada. It will always be going on. I tried doing that over a period of time. Somehow the chanting box keeps missing. Everyone, oh, wow, this is nice, and they take it home. So then I started putting it there. So there is one recording where I picked this rhythm of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It goes like that sound. And then Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Same box that say Hare Krishna, no matter how many of you have seen the chanting box. Okay, that one. There's a Japa mode also there. I picked that rhythm and I find it useful. This is the next point, rhythm. Okay, so you choose your rhythm. You see what rhythm you like. There's no high. Some people like to go for some high pitch, some people low pitch. It doesn't matter. Most important thing is rhythm. Rhythm means that's like your template. So when I pick the beat, I know my mind will actually adjust. Okay, this is all I'm going to do. If this is like ki ne da de da de da, you go like like certain beat, certain rhythm. You go. You don't need to think. You don't need to adjust. Once you go in, mind will actually put left, right, left. How many of you have done march past? Like that. You don't need to think. Tom. I'm like, already whether you like it or not, it goes. Like that, you go with a certain rhythm, your mind will adjust automatically. Okay, so if I pick the beats, I know already. Okay, I sit, put the water there. Okay, I start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. From the first mantra all the way to 1628th mantra. That's the 16th round, 108th mantra. It will go at the same pace, same rhythm. You have to keep on hitting. Otherwise, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Hare Krishna. And like, what? You want Krishna to dance. Okay, you know that verse, Tunde Tandavanirattim Vitanute Tundavali Labde. When we chant, Krishna comes and he dances on the tongue. It's given like that, which means you give the rhythm. How many of you know Jambavan? In Ramayana, that looks like a bear, Riksharaj. You know Jambavan? You don't know Jambavan. Ramayana? When Hanuman goes in search of Mother Sita, everyone knows Mother Sita was abducted and kept in Lanka, but nobody knows how to cross. So then everyone looks, Hanuman also looks. So then Jambavan, he's like a senior most person. He asks everyone, can you jump? He asks Angad. Angad is the son of Vali. Can you jump? Angad says, I can jump, but I can go only one way. I cannot come the other way because it's too much. So then he asks like that. Other monkeys he asks, they say, no, we can go only one half. If we can find some mountain in between, I can go like that. Hanuman is hearing, Hanuman is also looking. Because Hanuman, when he was young, how many of you have seen Bal Hanuman cartoon series? Yeah, otherwise you have wasted your life. So there, when he is small, he was naughty, goes under the water, ties the dhoti of two sages, takes the hair of one sage, ties, and then he gets the curse. Because you are so naughty, you will forget your powers until someone else comes and reminds you. So Hanuman also looking here, there, everything. And at that time, Jambavan comes and tells Hanuman, do you know who you are? And then as he says, Hanuman then remembers his powers. And then Hanuman says, actually, if you read that section, if you hear about the powers of Hanuman, your hair will stand on end. If we start that class won't finish, we'll go this way. And then when he reminds him, Hanuman then gets his rupa, huge one, and then he jumps. Now question is, how does Jambavan know about Hanuman? Jambavan is one personality who has a very, very long lifespan. He has seen Ramayana many, many times in the past also. So if you read Ramayana itself, Jambavan says, everyone looks, Jambavan asks Hanuman, Hanuman, you don't remember your power? Hanuman says, no. Actually, he murmurs, every time I have to come and remind you. Like that he comes. He has seen that pastime so many times. Every time, when Vamanadev, when he comes and scales, when Vamanadev is actually scaling, Jambavan has seen even that. He has been there for many, 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 many millennia. When he is doing that, Jambavan is sitting, wow, Supreme Lord is standing in one leg. This is a good time to do parikrama. He does parikrama 7 times, it's given. By the time Vamanadev puts 3 steps, he goes around him 7 times, even though he has taken such a gigantic form. Like that, he has seen Krishna Leela, he has seen, and he is one personality who is participating in both Krishna Leela as well as in Ram Leela. Okay, for Ram Leela, you will see him assisting the Vanarasena, being with Lord Ram. But then in Krishna Leela, if you see, he is the father-in-law of Krishna. Jambavati, one of Krishna's 8 principal queens. Krishna had 16,108 queens. One of the queen is Jambavati. Jambavati is daughter of Jambavan. Sometimes Jambavan in spiritual world also from Ayodhya, he'll go to Dwaraka. He'll stay in son-in-law's home for some time, which is Krishna, and then he'll come back to his Lord's home, which is Lord Ram. So very sweet personality. So anyway, so Jambavan, he does that, goes round and round and round. So different pastimes you will come across. The reason why I'm saying is when we chant the holy name of the Lord, there is a certain rhythm with which we need to go. Otherwise, if we are like all over the place, it's a big issue. We are not letting Krishna dance. Jambavan, he would still go when, let's say, Vishnu comes and kills Kalanemi. At that time also, he'll clap and he'll say, Bale, come on, kill. He is his Supreme Lord's only audience in all the pastime. When he comes as Matsya Avatar, at that time also he says like, wow, look at this, and then he claps. When he comes as Varahadev, again he he roars and he gives glorification. Jambavan is a very exalted devotee. So Lord gives him that access. He can be part of every pastime. So he participates in everything. And when Lord also could be dancing, could be killing, could be shooting arrow, he will actually clap hands giving rhythm also. Okay, so like that you will come across. So when we chant, it has to go at a certain rhythm. So it just goes tick, 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 tick. Then you won't skip anything. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna. Then it's going nowhere. Understand? So keep. I know. I used to do that. Whenever I feel sleepy, I used to chant loud. Even now, sometimes Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare, and then no, but we need to have that rhythm going. Understand? Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare. This is Prabhupada's rhythm. I liked it. I picked it. I go. But if you find some other rhythm is actually good for you, you can do. No problem. Prabhupada, again, this is something he has said. You sit straight as much as possible. And Prabhupada specially recommends doing pranayama. One reason why we touched on pranayama this time, 2 times, was because Prabhupada himself recommended if you do pranayama, you can chant very well because the breathing and everything will go very smooth. It will just flow. One topic we want to spend a lot of time, especially on Japa, will be part of this retreat in April, basically. And by the way, thinking about the retreat, has everyone here booked, registered your names at least? I know some of you couldn't pay now, which is perfectly fine. Salan has given me the names. Those of you who haven't, please do. Media team had actually made the poster. It will go out, I think, this weekend. And there is only 80 seats that are maxed, including organizers. There's only 80 people who can be there. Organizers itself, we have like about 8 to 10 because we need to bring devotees for cooking, cleaning, so many. So that leaves not with so many seats left. So please do register. If you can't pay now, you can pay later. And those of you attending online, same. You can share the news with your friends as well. And as I said, unlike the last 2 times where we confined it only for devotees, we would like to invite some new people as well. because it's a good opportunity for them to take some association. So that's the reason why we reserved some for the new people. So please do if you haven't yet. Anyway, so this is one area we want to actually focus on, having like a Japa workshop across the 3 days. But pranayama, Prabhupada did recommend doing pranayama, and you don't need to do, I don't want to go into the details now, you don't need to do very detailed pranayama, yogic breathing, diaphragm breathing, you don't need to do anything. Basically, before you start, just to take some time, like, even 10 seconds to 20 seconds, just breathe in slowly and then breathe out slowly. Let's try. Slowly breathe in. But as you breathe in, this is just for your practice, I'm saying, you don't need to do every day. But as you breathe in, first you breathe in and breathe out. Slowly. Breathe in and keep on breathing in until I tell you breathe out. Breathe out without making noise. Because normally you don't breathe out like that. Say, if you inhale too fast, then it's a problem. Okay. You inhale very, very slow. Inhale again. Okay, breathe out slowly. Okay, as you inhale, your stomach should expand. Inhale, breathe in more. Then your diaphragm will go down. And as you breathe out from your stomach going in. Slowly. Breathe in again, your stomach coming out. Okay, breathe out slowly again, reverse. Breathe in again. Breathe out again. One more time, breathe in. Slowly. Breathe out. So even if you do like this 10 times, 15 times like that, you can open your eyes. Even if you do it 10 times, 15 times like that, because when you go to sleep, your breathing pattern changes. Understand? So when you wake up, your lungs is not still pumping based on your full capacity. You need to bring it. This is the warm-up basically. You need to bring it, this is for chanting and even for otherwise normal breathing also, this is good. So you need to bring it at a certain frequency. It's like warm-up. When a vehicle, when they start it, they put it in idling. They turn it on, it won't move, but it'll just be, buses you might have seen, van you might have seen, they call it idling. Like that, this is like your warm-up basically. Okay, so you are getting the body to come to a certain rhythm. Once you do that, when you chant, it becomes easy. Okay, so this is something Prabhupada said. You can sit straight as much as possible. Now I know we tried yoga. Yoga is hard. You don't want to do it regularly. But my point is, even if you do Surya Namaskar, how many of you know Surya Namaskar? Even if you do only Surya Namaskar every day, it won't take long time. You can finish Surya Namaskar. I usually do 12 times every day. You can do, but first you do a little warm up. Okay. Even if you do Surya Namaskar, 12 times or even 6 times, you will see a big difference next day morning. If you do Surya Namaskar in the previous day evening, next day morning when you sit straight, you won't feel much strain in your lower back, or this is such a big effort. Actually, your normal position itself will look like straight, and you will feel, actually this is a comfortable position like that. Without straining, you will feel. Understand? So, if you can't do anything, at least do Surya Namaskar. 5 times, 6 times you can do. Just do some basic exercises, 2-3 minutes, and then do Surya Namaskar. Definitely it helps. But don't do any yoga without yoga mat, please. okay, you will definitely twist your knees, and that is not good. Okay, get a yoga mat. Those of you attended the first retreat, you might have still have got the yoga mat. If you haven't thrown it away, still collecting dust. Okay, so please, time to open. Use the yoga mat and do. If you haven't, you can buy it in like $2 shop, wherever. Please use that. It is important. It's good for your health. We many times we think depression, stress, and everything is mental, it's mind related. That's not fully true. A good part of your stress, anxiety is actually body related. Okay, try going for a walk. You will find, your body is light. Those who are living nearby, St. Leonard's Park is there. There, I always show the direction wrong. You can walk. Or wherever you are, you can walk on the road, walk on the street, anywhere. Walk with the proper shoes. That is a big stress buster. It goes away. You will feel it. And you won't experience it until you walk it. Walk the distance. Okay, so do that. Likewise, for yoga also, start with something very, very basic. And to do Surya Namaskar, you can even set time. Okay, 15 minutes only I'm going to do Surya Namaskar. You can still do a good 6-7 sets in that easily. Okay, but it helps when you sit normally also. I'm saying you won't have problem. You won't sit like this. You'll naturally sit like this. Okay, and you will feel comfortable that way. When you sit like this, you will feel like your lower part of the body is like a triangle. That's like a strong base. And when you sit with your beats like this, you will feel like, yep, my body is like a pyramid now. It will feel natural. Understand? You can't sit in a pyramid with the Padmasana position with the jeans pant. Definitely not comfortable. Trying very hard. There's only so much you can do. So, do it with dhoti, do it with yoga pant, do it with shorts, whatever you feel comfortable within your home, basically. Okay, so definitely exercise helps. If you find it hard to sit in one place and chant, walk and chant. That's not a problem. But let me tell you, I used to walk and chant before long. But the problem with walking and chanting, even in temple room, you look down, you will start to count the tiles. Now I'm walking on the black tile, blue tile. How many of you have that experience? This is why I'm saying close. Bro, all of this I have done. Oh, I'm walking 1, 2. Why is that Prabhu walking slow? Mind goes here, there. When you feel sleepy, walk around and chant. But I heard one lecture, and at same point, I kind of like heard back to back from 2 sannyasis, and that inspired me. No, I need to actually sit and practice. For almost 3 years in my Krishna consciousness, I used to walk and chant. Then one day I heard Indradyumna Maharaj's class, and Maharaj said, he went and visited one sadhu in Vrindavan, and the sadhu told him, yeah, I've done my bhajan, I'm ready. And he showed his beads. And that sadhu was like something like 102, 103 years old. Then Maharaj, he writes that I was also thinking that day will come for me also. Will I be confident to say I am ready? Because that sadhu can't move. 102, 103, body has become quite weak. He can't. But he's satisfied simply sitting in one place and chanting. Can I do like that? I heard him like that, say like that. Literally 1-2 weeks later, Devamrita Maharaj also mentions, I always feel happy when I say some devotees sit and chant, because sitting and chanting is difficult like that. Then I thought, really? Then I was thinking, yeah, I have never sat down and chanted like that. I just sit for some time, get up for some time, sit for some time like that. Then I thought, maybe I should try. I was living in Parramatta at that time. This is in 2009. So then I thought, okay, let me do. So then early in the morning, worship Tulsi, sit down, my God, legs pain like anything. First week, whole week it was a pain. It's one thing to just sit down and get up, but for 2 hours sitting in one place, it was difficult. Then I thought no, I need to do. I better do now. Otherwise, I will never be able to do. When I grow even more old, it will be difficult. Then I do. First week. Second week, it started to get little easy, but by end of second week, it was easy. I never had to walk and chant after that. So initially, you have to push. You are much younger now than when I was. I was 28 to 29, like that. So it's never too late to start the practice. But if you do, it is actually, this is Padmasana. You can sit peacefully. He sits in Padmasana always. You can even sit in Ardha Padmasana. Can you show Ardha Padmasana? One side. Yeah, you are sitting one side only. That's Ardha Padmasana. So even if you can't put both the legs like that, One leg can be your normal position, one leg alone you can move if you want to, otherwise just sit cross-legged. Okay, this is known as Shukasana. People sometimes say this is Padmasana. That's Ardha Padmasana. If you put both the legs, that's Padmasana. This is Shukasana. Normally how we sit cross-legged. You can even sit like this, no problem. But most important thing is, when you sit like this, back has to be straight. If you sit like this, people go like that. No, sit like that. But currently you need to make an effort, right? That's why I'm saying you do Surya Namaskar, you don't need to make an effort. If you sit, your body naturally will go like that only. That's the only way how you will feel comfortable. Understand? But that position looks austere now because you haven't done it. So if you do that, you will naturally feel like that. Okay, so Prabhupada recommends pranayama. Prabhupada, in one place, I'll finish at this point. It's 8:13 now. When he comes back from a morning walk, he sees one sadhu in Vrindavan doing Sirasasana, upside down, headstand he was doing. So when he was doing, devotees were laughing at him. Prabhupada said, don't laugh. Do you know how much benefit there is? You cannot do. Don't laugh at least. And then one disciple, when Prabhupada was getting into the car, one disciple asked Prabhupada, should we keep this as part of our regular practice? Prabhupada said no, because Prabhupada knows exactly, in the name of yoga, people will give up chanting. So Prabhupada said, no, but doing exercise is good, like that. Another place, Prabhupada, when he went to, I think, Taiwan, at that time, they take him for a walk, like in a park, and there people are doing Tai Chi. You know Tai Chi? You haven't seen Tai Chi. People put the music and they move. In the park, you can see. So again, the disciples laughed. Again, Prabhupada chastised, don't laugh. They are doing it for good health, like that. Okay, that's like a Chinese traditional. You are still laughing, man. Come on, man.
You've got a nice move.
Yeah, definitely. I have done it like that.
Where this song from?
Yeah, I was. You know what? We should have cheated her saying, we are not hearing music. Are you hearing music? Understand? So, Prabhupada at that time also chastised saying, don't make fun. They are taking good care of the health. Okay, so health we need to take care. So, you do pranayam, you do exercises, but Surya Namaskar or some yoga, if you have to leave, you can leave. Yeah, so it's important. Okay, so just a few things I'll quickly go through. Finally, pronounce every syllable clearly. Only two senses are involved. One is the tongue and the other is ears. Feel the beads. And then we were also talking on how Prabhupada, he twirled the bead. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama, Hare Hare. You pause. Again, you move. It also helps you not to skip the beats. Follow a rhythm. Find what rhythm that goes naturally for you, and you do. I followed Prabhupada's. You can find Prabhupada's chanting. Prabhupada chants. There are 2-3 rhythms with which Prabhupada chanted, but this is one thing which Prabhupada, most of the time you will hear him chanting this way. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. There is another one where Prabhupada chants faster. You cannot actually go with that speed, so go with this one, okay? Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, like that. Time your rounds, and you need to understand what your baseline is. Baseline is what is the quickest you can possibly ever do, which means you can never go below that when you time your rounds after that. Okay, first you understand, okay, one day you do, second day you do, you keep on timing your rounds. By then you will understand, okay, my average speed is about 6.5, 7.5, whatever minutes. That's your baseline. Okay, so then from that point onwards, whatever you actually chant, over a period of time, timing will improve. Then you can shift to the baseline slightly lower. But you need to have an idea. You sit straight, do pranayama, do at least Surya Namaskar, then your body is taken care. Naturally you will sit and chanting will just flow. Morning time, if you want to actually stay awake, how many of you have problem with sleeping when you chant Japa? Biggest issue for that is taking solid food the previous evening after sunset. As much as possible, see, Prabhupada said 2 things. When you eat food, normally people do 2 mistakes. Either they overeat or they undereat. Prabhupada says like this. However, if you are young you better do the mistake of overeating. Understand? And if you're old like me, you better do the mistake of undereating. Understand? So in eating, there's only two mistakes. One is overeating, second is undereating. If you are young, Prabhupada says you better do the mistake of overeating, which means Prabhupada says when you are young, you eat more. That's fine. But evening time alone, you don't overeat. Okay, normally you might have heard this saying, right? Like, morning you eat like a prince, afternoon like a king, evening like a beggar. Correct. Beggar who didn't get much food that day. Not like, okay, beggar got feasted today. Okay, so evening time, eat, don't starve. I've seen devotees go to the other extreme also. That's also bad. If you keep on skipping, you will get ulcer. Let me warn you there. Because ulcer means your body, secretes gastric juice, it's waiting for food. And you don't give any food, it will start to eat on the layer of your stomach, which is a problem. Once it corrodes, it's a danger. Then you'll start to actually feel pain, and every single time you skip a meal or slightly go over, you'll feel pain because it's it's acid literally. So you have to be careful. I've scared you enough. I'm seeing you, face a horror there. So understand the gap between your dinner and next day breakfast is almost 12 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours like that. Breakfast is a very important meal. You can never skip breakfast. Normally what happens is we oversleep, we wake up late, and we think I can take lunch and you go. Best thing you can do to ruin your body. Huh? That's a realized. Okay, don't skip breakfast. So you have to be, once again. So don't skip breakfast. Evening meal you take, let's say 6 o'clock, maximum like 7, but take something which is light. But most important thing is, don't eat and sleep immediately. Morning you wake up, you will sleep 100%. You try to, even if you want to eat a proper meal, eat, but eat well ahead of at least 1 hour, 2 hours before you go to sleep. If you feel no Prabhu, I feel really hungry every evening, I have to eat. But then you time it so that you sleep 2 hours later. Now don't eat at 11 o'clock and sleep at 1 o'clock. That's not what I mean. You still keep your sadhana, 9 o'clock if you have to eat, then eat by 7. At least that has to be there. Same rule, even if you are taking milk or anything, you cannot just, I'm not joking, you can drink milk, go to sleep, morning you'll wake up heavy again. Okay, there has to be a good gap of 1 to 2 hours from the time you take your last meal to the time you go to sleep. Then when next day morning comes, you will wake up and you can adjust your eating accordingly. So I'm not asking you to starve, be clear with that. You eat, but you just eat with these practices. Okay, Bhagavatam gives a solution for material problems. Only one solution it gives for sleeping problem. He says there's only one way to control sleep, which is by controlling eating. There's no other second way. Bhagavatam is there, I can show you the verse. Okay, so don't starve. As I said, Prabhupada says, when you are young, if you have to do a mistake, do the mistake of overeating. So you have to eat because you are young. Your body needs, your metabolism is strong, so you need to eat. But at the same time, keeping in mind your spiritual practices and your overall health and well-being, you still follow some discipline there. I read something interesting. First time I read, it was very interesting. Second time I read, very, very interesting. And as I'm getting old, that line always comes to my mind. You have come across this verse where, in Bhagavatam it said, Prayana alpayusha shabhya kalavasmin yuga janaha manda sumanda matayo manda bhagyahi upadrataha. People in Kali Yuga, they have very short life. You can read that verse purport. First time I read, it struck me. Oh my God, what Prabhupada is saying? Prabhupada says in the purport, people in Kali Yuga, they have lesser lifespan, not because of lack of food. People in Kali Yuga has less duration of life because of only one reason, irregular habits. Surprise, surprise. Which means, even if you are going for night shift, get into the habit of sleeping at the same time. Even if you go to bed late, get into the habit of waking up in the morning at the same time. Prabhupada says irregular habits will reduce your lifespan because the body can't adjust. Body doesn't know the rhythm. Okay. But if you're not working, at least your work hours and everything is like, relatively predictable like that, then keep it fixed. Don't unnecessarily abuse the body. Okay. Irregular habits, Prabhupada says, will reduce your lifespan. So just be mindful about that. Okay. So sleep. Trust me, everyone goes through this issue about sleeping. Some things as time progresses, as you grow old, you will be able to control it much easier. But some adjustments you can make even when you are young. As I said, you eat to your heart's content, to your stomach's content, that's fine. But the time when you eat to the time when you sleep, have at least 2 hours gap is definitely good. But if you think I'm not such a big eater, then don't get into the habit of eating unnecessarily in the evening. Okay, morning you can wake up fresh. But in any case, breakfast never skip, because the gap between your dinner and your breakfast is the longest. And the more you actually skip breakfast, you can go and ask any nutritionist. I have spoken. My mom is a doctor, my aunt is a doctor, my one cousin is a doctor, second cousin, third cousin. You know how much pressure I went through in my home. My uncle. You mentioned special, another aunt, ophthalmic surgeon, we have. Gynecology and obstetrics, unrelated to me, but we have general medicine, we have cardiac surgeon, everything. And they'll tell you that regularity matters. Okay, you skip the morning breakfast, you are asking for trouble. Okay, so you need to make plan to eat properly. Even if you push your chanting slightly later, prepare something. Even if you buy cornflakes, eat something you have to eat. You can't skip breakfast. I'm done. Prasanna, you had your hand up. Yes, and then I'll come to you. Can one of you please go start serving breakfast? Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Yeah. Sorry, what? Okay, dinner. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki. Shri Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki. Samaveda Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki. Gopinath Youth Group ki. Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.